What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of No Hype, and today I'm going to be introducing a whole new series, and it's going to be called What You Missed. Now, it's really more like what I missed or what I didn't have time to show y'all, but you get the drift. It's going to be stuff that's been sitting around in my collection, and I haven't had the time to go do a review. I might do hauls, I might bunch it up together, but the thing that they're all going to have in common is they're still going to be available. So if you slept on these gems, if you didn't even know they existed, this is your chance to get them. Sometimes you may even be able to get them at a steal depending on when you actually see this. So today we're going to start off with a haul from Mass Appeal Records. Shop Mass Appeal, massappeal.com. Make sure to check them out because they are probably like one of the top sites that I go to for dope merch releases with some of my favorite artists. They did a bunch of stuff with NAS, if you've been living under a rock, or maybe you just missed the Nas albums Magic 1, 2, and 3 and King's Disease 1, 2, and 3, but this is basically centered around that drop. Before we get into the reviews, I just want to take a second to say, if you like hip-hop related content or stuff in the collectible space, make sure to give your boy a follow, like, and comment so the algorithm gods bless me. Now that that's out of the way, let's talk about this Mass Appeal haul that I got, which is strictly Nas related merch, and I got some pretty dope stuff that I cannot wait to show y'all. We're going to talk about the Nas reissue of Rewind that was released on 7-inch vinyl. You got two versions of this. What is really special about this release is that it plays backwards, very much like the theme of the song. If you've never heard this song, you should definitely go give it a listen because this is creative writing at its best and by none other than the Pharaoh Nas. So the song is a story told backwards, and it starts off with Nas setting up the story and how he's gonna tell it to you backwards. At this point, the first time I heard this song, I literally closed my eyes just so I could picture it, and I probably listened to the song 100 times over back to back that day. Nas starts the story saying, the bullet goes back in the gun, the bullet holes closing as the chest of a now back to square one. Yeah, I remember hearing that, and I literally, like right now, got chills. I was like, yo, this man just said the bullet went back in the gun and the wound is closing. Like the visual is completely there. And I mean, just hearing the song again in 2024, I'm reliving that same thought process. Like, yo, Nas is a GOAT for a reason. Nas is crazy. I'm not gonna break down the whole song, but you get the point, and you could go listen to it. I think it's just like under 3 minutes, or it's around 3 minutes and change. You can find that on YouTube or any DSP, or you could cop the vinyl like I did and play it backwards. But both actually play backwards. Yes, Rewind plays from the inside down to the bottom. Pause. The concept of this being the way they reissued this record is brilliant. That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. There's two versions of this release. The silver version, which is here sealed, that has the OB strip on the side, and the OB strip is like a strip of paper that usually if you got an import of a record that was issued with a slight variance, like maybe in Japan or something like that, had an extra remix, they always had OB strips. There are a lot of classic records that were released in America and then were released overseas that had an OB strip with some translated writing on it. And then there is the regular one, which is just a black vinyl and has the original version on side A and the instrumental version on side B. If you didn't already know, of course, it was produced by Large Professor, one of the dopest to ever do it. And they both have a printed sleeve on the inside housing the record, keeping it safe. They're still available, and they both retail for $19 on the website. And I gotta say, I was really happy with Nas's 6-album run with Hit Boy, so I try to cop everything they released from the King's Disease and the Magic trilogies, but I wasn't able to get everything, but I got a lot of stuff. With that being said, I have the Nas Magic 2 Chrome Mirror cassette tape. It comes just as is, without any art, just the chrome tape as the art. This was also $20, and I also got the Magic 2 CD that comes in a mini style LP jacket. And I gotta say, I'm not a really big fan of these like LP jacket style CDs. Simply because when you put them inside of a CD case or a CD rack, yes, I have a huge CD rack, pause, I think, I don't know, CD rack, pause, sounds pretty plausible. So just in case, they don't sit right in there and it's a bit frustrating. I like jewel cases because they just look great in the collection. This is also still available on the site and retails for $15. So if you like the album and you're down to have the trifecta, go get that as well. I also ended up with the Magic 2 vinyl. This is the limited edition color vinyl of Magic 2. It comes in this like smoky black and white and pink type vinyl. But the way this is manufactured, according to the website, every single one might have a little variant in it. They're not all identical because of the way they were manufactured. Now, I'm not sure how many were pressed of the tape, of the CD, or the vinyl. They may or may not be limited edition. I think the vinyl definitely is limited edition in this colorway, but it also has the Obi strip. And again, this is still available on Mass Appeal site for $39. Now, the fun stuff. First, since we're talking Magic, I'm gonna tap into this Magic 8-ball. Yes, remember those? People used to actually play with these things. Now, this is definitely a triple entendre merch offering if I've ever seen one, and it's quite clever if you ask me. Well, maybe Magic 8-ball. Maybe it's a double entendre because I think I was just counting the word 8-ball as part of the entendre. It is a Magic 8-ball and it's a limited run item, and it has Nas's lyrics as some of the answers. And then it has some other lyrics. I think a few of them that I was able to shake and get earlier when I was checking this thing out says I'm speechless. It says it's ugly outside. It says yeah, which is probably more of an ad lib if we're referring to Nas, maybe. It says I love this feeling. It also says ain't no answers. It says it was written. It says stay off your phone. And it says a few other things, but you know, I really can't believe we used to play with these back in the day and have fun with it. And if you don't know what Magic 8-ball is, you're gonna make me feel really old explaining this, but you basically ask a question, you shake the 8-ball, and then it reveals the answer like it's magic, hence being a promotional product for the Magic run. Now it's crazy. These merch offerings are dope. I really wonder why Mass Appeal didn't promote them more, or why they weren't really more known about, but yeah, I guess that's what I'm here for. This is still available on the Mass Appeal site for a hefty $60. There's no actual number of these advertised, but it does say it was a limited release. Next, we have the King's Magic Cube, which is kind of like a Rubik's Cube, but for the King's Disease and Magic trilogies, which this has 6 sides. There are 6 albums for the between the 2 trilogies, King's Disease, and it has the album art for King's Disease 1, 2, and 3, and then it has the album art for Magic 1, 2, and 3. I'm not gonna bother messing with this because I'm not smart enough to put together a Rubik's Cube, and I don't want to take this out of order because this thing looks dope as well. And it's kind of like the Magic Cube I have from Ice Cube from back in the day, except, I mean, Ice Cube's not a Rubik's Cube. It's like an infinite folding cube. This is available on Mass Appeal site for $20. Not bad. Definitely a dope shelf piece, and you can display it however you like. Let's see. Last but not least, in the theme of Rewind, we have a really dope piece of handmade merch from the Rewind single reissue, and it's a clock. And it's actually made from the center part of the Rewind 7-inch single. The part where the label actually sits on the record, and then there's a little bit of vinyl. The packaging is also a repurposed record sleeve, and it comes in a clear plastic box so you can appreciate all the little Easter eggs that they kept in there, like the lyrical quote here that says I spit a story backwards, it starts at the ending. These are also still available on the Mass Appeal website for $55. Keep in mind, if any of this stuff is too expensive but you like to cop it, Black Friday and Cyber Monday are coming up, so there may or may not be a sale on their site, and that would probably be your chance to grab some of these if and when you choose to buy them. Because if you're like me, sometimes I like to hold out for a deal. And if you're patient enough and consistent enough, a deal will always come across your path. That's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching No Hype, and make sure to stay tuned for more dope and rare hip-hop collectibles. Peace.